see this video, it's because I added it on to the rest of the main video. This is Women Locked Up Before and After, another episode of my growing channel. Hopefully it will be better than this in a couple of months. I hope and pray. But anyway, the main reason why I'm making this, it's going to be kind of like I'm not going to put series on there, episodes and stuff like that, but I am going to go through the handbook of MDOC and what they do not do, because there are reasons why I'm doing this. There are so many things that they are supposed to do that they don't do, and things that they are doing under the table, if you know what I mean. And that place is really bad. If y'all watched my last live stream, there was a woman in there that her boyfriend is in there now, and she even said what he described it as on the men's side, and I said it's like that even in the women's, if not worse. And I've been trying to tell people from day one, if I get some more people on here, I'm going to try to find some of my friends on Facebook, and so I can get them on here and let y'all, I'm going to try to find somebody I can, interview, because I want y'all to hear some stories. I'm telling you, y'all would, freak out. Not freak out, but you would like to hear the stories. Especially a friend of mine that rode on the bus with me down there the last time. She knows a lot about what happened to me down there and the stuff that I went through, and she was a really good person, and she witnessed a lot of things too, a lot of things that I witnessed. And anyway, I just wanted to put this video in here on this right here to let y'all know that this is a meaningful video, and I hope that y'all get something out of it, because like I said, I want to try to find some people off Facebook, my friends. I have a page on Facebook, by the way. I'm not sure if anybody has even tried to look that up or not, but my regular Facebook page is Kimberly Prather Hicks, but Kimberly Prather Hicks, if you didn't get that, said that too fast. Anyway, I'm just really tired. I've been up all trying to do this, and my daughter's birthday thing, like I said, you're going to hear this again on my other. Anyway, it's fixing to continue to the next one, so please stay tuned. It's fixing to say the same thing. Welcome to Women Locked Up Before and After. So I had to put this in there to let y'all know to keep watching, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Keep watching, stay tuned, because a lot in store. Lot. Hello, welcome to another episode of Women Locked Up Before and After. I have something pretty good today. It is Chapter 1, Admission, Orientation, and Classification. So, let's do this. I'm having to use my mouse pad. I cannot stand doing that. So, I'll do the best I can. Try to move everything over. Okay. Admission and orientation. Male inmates committed by the courts to the MDOC or returned as parole, probation, ISP, ERS, or suspension violators are first assigned to RNC at CMCF. Of course, by now you know I'm going by from where I was locked up at. Okay. Where's that at? Female inmates committed by the court to the MDOC are returned as parole, probation, ISP, ERS, or suspension violators are first assigned to at CMCF 2B or CMCF 1A. Upon completion of initial admission processing, inmates are transferred into housing units where they will complete further admission processing. This will include testing, background interviews, psychological evaluations, and explanation of rules, regulations, which all inmates are expected to conform with and obey. Prior to completion of initial classification, all male and female inmates are treated as close custody. That means like yellow jumpsuit until you're classified. Inmates remain in this category until they receive an assignment from the initial classification hearing officer and are transferred from the RNC Center, CMCF 2B or CMCF 1A, to a permanent resident housing unit. During admission and orientation, inmates are given an introduction to the initial classification process. MDOC orientation attend a class on HIV and AIDS, which explains the means of contracting the virus and prevention methods, have DNA testing, Prison Rape Elimination Act training, and are issued a copy of the MDOC Inmate Handbook, which we are going through right now. Each correctional housing unit has a case manager. I just got to talk about that the other day. The case manager. Always make sure you stay on that case manager. If you can't do it, make sure you got a family member out there that will do it for you or something. Always have somebody on it. A case manager and unit administrator assigned to assist in answering questions and should be the first points of contact in dealing with any matter concerning an inmate's stay at the RNC Center. When it says RNC, I don't understand why they're putting that on there, because RNC is, okay, well, I guess so, because there's male inmates in that place. But RNC is mainly where they classify you and where the clinic's at, like you for checkups and all that stuff, and where you get processed when you go in the door. Let's get to this other point here. Classification, definition, and intent. Classification is the systematic processing of inmates into one or more of the following assignments: custody status, housing unit, educational programs, adult basic education, vocational training, GED, pretty much, rehabilitation program, alcohol and drug treatment, pre-release. Pre-release is the same thing. It's A&D program, and your medical class. Initial classification. This process includes, but is not limited to, the following: identification process. Inmates are strip searched and all free world clothing is confiscated. Personal property that is not included placed on the allowable items list is confiscated. all currency confiscated, a receipt is issued, and the money is placed in the inmate's account. The inmate is allowed to shower, shave, receive a haircut, which don't get only men get that. Women don't get haircuts. Not where I was at. Okay. After that, they get state issued items like their yellow jumpsuit, underwear, socks, shoes, towels, sheets, pillowcase, soap, state soap, toothbrush, little toothbrush, and little toothpaste. Well, actually, they got the long ones, but they're the clear, nasty. People actually use the toothpaste with the state soap to wash their clothes, and it comes out really white. What else we got here? Okay, the inmate is photographed, fingerprinted, and issued state identification cards. Each inmate is given forms to complete that include the address of the facility for receiving personal mail and funds for his or her inmate account, and a religious information form for the chaplain's department. The security threat group intelligence coordinator interviews each inmate. No, they don't. I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of that. For the detection and identification of gang. Now, they do that probably because that's probably why I never heard of it, because I wasn't affiliated with a gang, with no gang. But it says each inmate for the detection and identification of gang or unsanctioned group involvement. After review by the security personnel of the identification department, the inmate's file is delivered to case management, and the inmate is placed on pre-physical list for a medical and dental examination by the medical staff, and is scheduled for an initial classification hearing. Okay, hang on. Physical examination. Medical staff will examine each inmate upon hold on a second. What just happened here? This is why I don't like using my mouse pad. My mouse went kaplunk, actually got wet, and I tried to dry it out and it won't work anymore. I had them, well, I kind of opened it already, but the Logitech mouse. Anyway, objective classification system. Okay, I don't know where this went, but I was not even that far. Let me go up. I hate using these things. But yes, I did that. We went over the inmate strip search and the clothing confiscated. Okay, bear with me, please, because I want y'all to hear this. Please watch this video, please. I need y'all to see what we really had to go through, and what we had to deal with, and what they say we had to do and didn't do at all. Okay, each inmate will be scored. Okay, we got that. I don't understand what this is doing right now. Medical class will be assigned in. Okay, wait, I think I know what just happened. Excuse the noise. Okay. Physical, okay. Security threat, okay, we went through that, about the if you're in the gang or not. Medical staff will examine each inmate upon entering the system. When the medical staff completes the commitment report, a medical class will be assigned to the inmate and documented in the report. The report is then forwarded to the case manager. Psychological evaluation. Each inmate will be tested, evaluated, and interviewed by the psychological department from evaluations compiled during the process. The initial classification hearing officer assigns each inmate a classification within days after his arrival in the system. It's not days either. I'm going to tell you something. There have been people that sit there for 2 months, 3 months, but now they say they're actually doing it within 3 weeks. So, anyway, people don't call it psychological evaluation anymore. They call it psych observation, or actually evaluation. Observation is actually like suicide watch. Objective classification system. Each inmate will be scored using the objective classification system during initial classification to establish a custody rating upon his admission to the Mississippi Department of Corrections, MDOC. This custody rating is based upon assessment of items that are scored on a numerical scale, if I'm saying that right, sorry. An inmate may be reassessed using the objective classification reclassification assessment to review and update his custody rating throughout his incarceration by the MDOC. The purpose of the reassessment process is to reassure the inmate is placed in the least restrictive environment while ensuring public safety and the security of the institution, staff, and all inmates. During this process, all relevant information concerning the inmate is evaluated in order to plan and implement a realistic and continuing program in line with the requirements of the institution / facility and the individual needs of the inmate. The classification hearing officer will assign each inmate a custody level and classification status. See classification criteria. The initial classification hearing officer shall use the following criteria to assign each inmate a classification level: age, nature of offense, surrounding circumstances. That's another thing. When they classify you, they base everything on what you tell them. If you tell them that you have a history of drug abuse and you don't want alcohol and drug class, and they're going to stick it on you. If you're court ordered, you're going to do it anyway. But this is definitely something you want to hear, especially if this is in any other states other than here. Anyway, based on age, nature of offense, surrounding circumstances, type of crime committed, prior and current institutional conduct, sentence data, prior criminal history and NCIC, personal and social factors, escape history. That don't have to be escape from jail, it can also be absconding. Detainers, red tag, separation cautions. Like if you have to red tag somebody, they actually keep track of that, and they want to know why you have to red tag somebody and what those issues were you had on the street, why you have to, if you know they're in prison. Like if you had, say for instance, I got in a fight with somebody and they threatened to kill me or something like that, I would have to red tag. Well, I wouldn't probably. I would just try to get somewhere else. But you can red tag the person and you won't be housed with them. Anyway, education, resident stability, employment experience, youth court, including juvenile criminal history. Yes, that does come up because mine did. When I was at Columbia Training School, which is a boot camp for 3 months, when I was 16 years old, and or knowledge obtained in personal interview, custody designations. The initial classification hearing officer is responsible for designating a custody classification to each newly received inmate prior to assignment to a designated facility housing state inmates. After assignment to a housing facility and after a reasonable period of observation, the classification hearing officer will evaluate the inmate's pre-institutional assessment information, behavior, and other relevant factors and recommend a custody change. All privileges to include level of supervision within outside of the institution, access to programs like satellite programs and stuff like that. Visits and telephone are based on inmate's custody level. When a decision is made regarding the custody, the inmate's privileges will be consistent with that custody. Whatever your custody level is and whatever issues you have, whatever problems you have with anybody or the staff, anything, everything is based on what your level is. Anyway, that's okay. This right here is a big deal. There's a minimum custody, medium custody, closed custody, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, here, this is very important. This is where what was that? Of course, again. Okay, minimum custody. This is a custody which affords the inmates and are relaxed, a more, okay, I don't know why they said more relaxed atmosphere and an extension of privileges. Minimum custody requires the ability to work satisfactorily with minimum supervision or security control. Minimum custody inmates will be placed in one of the following statuses. Community minimum status has the least security and supervision required of an inmate, and usually this type of inmate works in the community. Non-community minimum status has the least security and supervision required of an institutionalized inmate, and usually this type of custody is housed under minimum security circumstances and made participant in activities on institutional grounds without direct staff supervision. Off grounds, the inmate must be supervised by training correctional staff. Okay, that's what I was when I first went down there, was minimum custody. But all that's not correct, what they're saying on there, on how they don't have this. There's always somebody there. I hate, these handbooks are crazy, but I always wonder what other handbooks look like at other prisons. I always wonder that after seeing only the one that I went to. I only been to that one, and it just drives me nuts. Okay, medium custody. That's what I was last time I was locked up. Minimum was what I was. Okay, minimum is green and white. Medium custody is black and white. This is a custody where the inmate has displayed a desire to be considered responsible and presents a moderate risk, medium custody inmates are housed in a medium security correctional facility and must be under direct, constant, armed. They're not armed. Wait a minute. The ones in the tower, of course, yeah. Correctional supervision when engaging in activities outside the perimeter of the correctional facility. They don't go outside that perimeter if you're medium custody. Inmates are permitted to move about the housing unit. Oh, by the way, I might be reading this out of the MDOC handbook where I was at, but rules change every day there. I mean, literally, they make their own rules and they change every day. Okay, closed custody. Okay, now we're getting into the deep stuff here. Closed custody. It's pretty simple. This custody is the highest risk general population inmate and has one or more of the below risk factors. Risk of escape. Closed custody is usually periodic demonstration as a threat to staff or inmates, recent or serious disciplinary record. Okay, that's pretty much, closed custody is pretty much somebody who's on lockdown all the time. Okay, like somebody asked me in one of my live streams what kind of prison it was. I wasn't at a maximum security prison, but they have, I know it sounds kind of awkward. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of another place that's like that. Please let me know, because I really want to know. Because it wasn't a certain level of prison. It was just a state prison, but there was lockdown there, which what we called a door behind a door behind a door, because you're pretty much like behind a whole bunch of doors. But it's lockdown. It's maximum security inside the facility. I don't think that makes any sense to y'all, but that's what they have there. But that's the lowest you can get before death row is closed custody. Because next is death row. Death row. Inmates committed to the MDOC under a sentence of death and are housed in a facility/unit deemed appropriate by the MDOC Commissioner. Death row status requires the highest level of custody supervision available. And by the way, they don't watch them all the time. They're in lockdown, just like the other people that's in there for lockdown, getting in trouble for a cell phone or something. The only thing, actually, yeah, I think they even get to go outside too. I don't want to see what the handbook says. There ain't much left of it anyway. Death row states requires the highest level of custody. The classification system is also used to determine which facility inmates will be housed in and place them in housing units which are appropriate for their custody assignment. If inmates adjust poorly, death row inmates don't get housed with general population that are in lockdown, maximum security. And there's only one female one. I never did get that name for y'all. I will get that on my next live Q&A. Remind me. If proper behavior is maintained, inmates will generally be placed in less restrictive housing. No, they won't. Death row stays in one place at all times. They don't move. MDOC facilities and custody assignments. I'm not going to go through all that, because actually I am going to go through a couple of these just because a female, her boyfriend is in CMCF, and these are some of the places. This is for you. You know who I'm talking to. I forgot your name, I'm sorry. But your boyfriend is at CMCF. You asked me some questions about when he goes satellite. These are some of the places that he can go. He's not going to be medium custody, he's going to be minimum, so he can go to the place where he's at, of course, Central Mississippi Correctional Facility. He can go to Marshall County, Mississippi State Penitentiary, South Mississippi Correctional Institution, Walnut Grove. I heard they shut Walnut Grove down. That's probably not on. That's not correct no more. Wilkinson County Correctional Center, and that's it. Oh, and they didn't put ours on there either. Oh yeah, they did right there, but it says medium. They take minimum too. Alcorn County Regional Correctional Facility. Yes, okay, I just read that because that's a girl wanted me to find some stuff out of her, but a minimum number of minimum inmates, inmates may be assigned to private and regional facilities based on need for support jobs, because they super jobs. Okay, that's it for that one. Because chapter 2 is coming up. That's on the programs. I'm doing that next time on the programs that are at this place. So I'm going by where I was at again. So just letting y'all know, I'm going by where I was at. So, and also, y'all, I think somebody asked me what an RVR was when I mentioned something about an RVR. It's a rule violation report. That's what you get when they said they're going to write you up. They put it on the RVR. Everybody says RVR. Or when the jailers or something like, or jailers, guards be like, I'm going to give you an RVR. Whatever, but that's what that is. Rule violation report. And they have so many days to come to you, like 21 days, no, 14 days to come to you. If they don't come to you in that amount of time, they have to drop it. But anyway, I think I'm sitting really high. Anyway, yes, that is all I have for y'all today, because I had another video. I'm so tired right now because I've been working on stuff all night for my daughter and this one and everything, but I really appreciate everybody still watching my videos and staying with me on this. I do have more to come, and I'm still going through some stuff right now, and I really I consider myself strong right now, being the fact that all the stuff that's going on in my life right now. I'm not like, I noticed a couple people, almost everybody that has a prison channel. Of course, me, I'm the only female one, but all the men are all married and have kids and have pretty good lives going on there on the prison channels. Me, I have a boyfriend, but everything is not like that. Everything's pretty much kind of out of control right now. Not in our relationship, I'm talking about, like, I'm still trying to get an apartment, but that is going great. That one's going pretty awesome on that one. But other than that, I'm still looking for a job, but it will come. God knows I will have one. I'm not going to give up, because that's what the devil wants me to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm not trying to be all, preachy or whatever you want to call it, but I'm not going to give up. Don't ever give up. You can't give up. I'm going to move this over so I can see this better, because I then closed out the, yes, there we go. I've been sitting up straight this whole time. I don't know if I was too tall or whatever, But anyway, yes, that's all I have for y'all today. Like I said, I've been up and trying to do this, hoping I get it right, and I hope everybody enjoyed. Sorry I didn't have a little bit more for y'all. Like I said, excuse me, I had to make my daughter a birthday thing, and it's actually gonna be uploaded when I upload this one, and I wanted everybody to see it. So if you have time, please look at it. Thank y'all for watching. And actually, it's already her birthday. She's 17 years old. I miss her so. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank y'all for watching so much. And please, 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 stay with me. I'm still struggling, and I'm still gonna do it though, and I'm gonna get better, and everything else is gonna get better, and we're all gonna be just fine. So, thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe. And peace and love. Bye.